Hey guys.
Alright folks, we're here today to check out the latest video from Lord of the Lost, One Last Song. It's not,
but it does.
because I know they're working on a new record, so I know this is not going to be their last song.
But you shouldn't do stuff like that. You know, it gives me a
Scares
little heart
people.
attack.
Scares people. So, I believe, based on the Google research that I did, that this song is very important for Chris. It has a very special meaning. It comes from a special place from within. He's very emotionally attached to this song. I didn't know that when I was listening to the album, so obviously now listening to this song and watching this video, that's going to probably open different doors and allow us to view the track and view the video from a different angle. So I just want to put that out there for you, because I'm sure the folks watching this already know that. But anytime a song has that special emotional bond to the person who created the song, it goes further. At least for me, I'm that kind of a person that I connect more with a track when that kind of backdrop is there. So, one last song, Lord of the Lost. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, let's check this out.
If I could sing one last song before the world ends, if I could sing one last song to say goodbye, if I could sing one last song to all my children, if I could sing one last song before we die. The forgiveness for this life ends. I'd give everything I have, say all the things I left unsaid, if I could sing one last song and make it a good one. A song about love, a song about death, with desperation in my breath. I scream in the silence, massive and violent, hear my voice for Ryan. If I could sing one last song to show my love was endless, if I could sing one last song to help you cry, if I could sing one last song when the colors fade, with a smile through the pain to the everlasting night. A song about love, a song about death, with desperation in my breath. I scream in the silence, massive and violent, hear my voice for Ryan Laws, singing for my broken walls. One last song, one last song, for the rebels and the brave, the runaways, the renegades, for those living by the sword, the forgotten and ignored, for the victims standing proud, all the lonesome in the crowd, for all my kings and all my queens, and for everyone between. A song about love, a song about death, desperation in my breath. I scream in the silence, massive and violent, hear my voice for I am lost. A song about love, a song about death, with desperation in my breath. I scream in the silence, massive and violent,
I wonder if that was his room.
Sing one last song to you.
Wow. That's what I was thinking. I wonder if that's his room, like, as a kid.
This is like family house?
Yeah, like his family's house, and that's... I'm just wondering that, because that would have a special meaning of him being there with the acoustic guitar and adding that part there. It would make total sense in the context of the track. Now, before we dive into the song, let me just say this. And you know this. I've been... The older you get, the more in touch with your own mortality you become. And as you know, I don't want to be buried. I want to be cremated because I'm claustrophobic.
You're already dead. I don't know. Like,
it doesn't matter. I want my ashes thrown in the ocean in front of my house in Portugal. You know, I want to go back to from the place where I came from.
Do you know how weird that's gonna be for me? Like carrying you in the urn on the fucking plane and shit.
Just put me in a Ziploc bag. No fucking. I don't give a shit.
I'm not putting you in a Ziploc bag.
Yeah, and then when you get there, just throw. Like now, don't be like a fucking puss and throw my ashes on the sand. Like actually get close. I mean, don't drown, but get close to the water to throw my freaking
You know where the
ashes.
light hole, you know where the light pole is? Like that big, nice light pole in
Lighthouse, you mean?
The lighthouse. Sorry, you know what that is?
Yeah.
I'll go there and
just throw it. Not with the Ziploc bag closed. Like, open it up and throw it. So it can go in slow motion.
But make sure the wind is not facing my way. Because I don't want to get your like dick and balls on my face.
Definitely not. All right. So anyhow, and I don't want that to happen either. I don't want that to be our last moment together. So, anyways,
I want it to be. You spread like half of me's in the ocean.
Yeah, like do
the
it
rest
properly.
is in your
like
collar.
don't half-ass it. Don't fucking half-ass it. Anyways.
What if I was like?
But you know, hold on. You know that I've been debating what song to be played at my eulogy.
Yeah, I don't know why. I mean.
Well, because I'm in a urn, it doesn't mean I don't get a eulogy. What the fuck you think this is?
No, you're gonna get like the viewing, and then you'll get
Yeah, that's what happened with your grandfather.
Incinerator, like then that will happen.
Incinerate the tyrants. So, anyways,
that's the song I'll play while you're
while I'm going in. Yeah, like I'm a tyrant. Anyways, this is a perfect song. This is a perfect song. I want this song.
Okay.
When you guys are celebrating my life, my existence, what I've accomplished in this world, which is not much besides you, I want this song.
So not much.
I said not much before, so like I didn't want to like double emphasize the not much. So anyways, I want this song. This song is perfect for that moment, and I'll tell you why. Like I'm listening to this track, and I never really thought about this because you can think about it. If I could sing one last song, obviously he's a singer, he's looking at it from that perspective. But I was thinking more as I'm listening to the song, as I'm watching the video. And by the way, I don't know how they always get authorization to do these videos at churches, but I don't know who they're bribing to get that done. But keep doing it because it definitely adds a completely different vibe to the video.
The church has always been they've always been the people who look away at certain things, and also they love money. So I feel like
that is true.
Looking away from these guys are coming in here to put a metal music video, it's pretty like against. But they're paying us. Fuck yeah.
Yeah, I think that's exactly how that conversation went. So, anyways, as I'm watching this, I'm like, okay, for me, it's not necessarily if I could sing one last song. It really hit me hard when he said, "Can I sing one last song to my parents?" To me, it would be just what would my last words would be. Not necessarily a song, but what my last words would be. And it hit me hard because when he said it, when he talked about his parents, I realized that I never got to say a last word to my dad. Because he passed away suddenly. I'm living in Canada. He's living in Portugal. I obviously, even if I flew out on that same day, there's no way I would have. I mean, he had heart issues. He had a heart attack. I mean, I don't want to overcomplicate the story here, but the moment the ambulance took him, he's pretty much in a coma for the next 2 days, and then he ends up passing away. So even if I made it there on time to see him at the hospital, it's not like I could get a last word in.
The last thing you said, didn't you? Because this was...
The last thing I said to him was goodbye.
Yeah, it was goodbye because we left.
Or see you later or whatever. But what I'm saying is, like, maybe even if I could have held his hand at that moment and say my piece to him, even though maybe he can't hear me, it would give me at least the opportunity to say my goodbyes. And I didn't have that opportunity. And I think sometimes we treat relationships and we treat those around us with a little bit lack of not lack of care, but we always feel like there's going to be another day, there's going to be another moment, there's going to be another opportunity for you to say something or to do something. The opportunity is now. You never know tomorrow, you never know the next minute, you never know the next hour, what's going to happen, what's going to be. You want to always be able to look back at the last conversation you had, either be with your mother, your father, your son, your daughter, your neighbor, your friend, your wife, whoever. You always want to be, you should always want that conversation to be one that if it's going to become your last, it's not something that you're going to regret. Like, it's something that you're comfortable leaving that as that last conversation. Make that last, not just that last conversation, that last song, that last word, but that last memory be one that's worth having. And I think that's something, that's what I take from this song. It's not just about if I could, like, what would it be? But it's more so that if I did, would it be something memorable to do? Like, it wouldn't be just something that it's thrown away. Something that becomes irrelevant. Like now, you ask me what was the last words you said to your... I don't know. I'm assuming it was goodbye, see you later, but I don't know because it wasn't memorable. It wasn't something heartfelt.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be memorable. It's something heartfelt. So because of that, it's a really painful experience. Listening to this song kind of remind me of that chapter that it'll never close. It's a book that never closes. It's a book that doesn't have an ending because it didn't have an ending because of how it happened. And I think sometimes we take relationships for granted. We get mad at people, we don't talk to them for a while, or you know, you end the conversation with an argument or this or that, and I think it's so selfish to think that way and to view the world from that perspective. I think we always need to take every moment that we have with a person that we care for as if it was our last, so that we can enjoy it to the max. So listening to this song, I took it from that point of view, not as a last song. Like if I had a last song, like my dad probably would want some Enrique Iglesias, but you know what I mean. So obviously I'm not gonna sing no Enrique Iglesias, or not Enrique. What's his dad? Julio. His dad is Julio. My dad liked his dad, old school shit, not Enrique. He also didn't mind Shakira. But I think it was more because of the hips.
I was going to say, he was also a big female beach soccer.
He was a big ladies' man.
He was a ladies' man.
He loved some ladies. Let me tell you, he loved some ladies. So, so for me, I took this song from that angle, that perspective of what would you do if you have that chance to, almost like to do it again. Like, what would it be? What would you sing? What song would you play? What would you say? What would your actions be? And I think it's something really profound, and I think it's something that we don't spend too much time thinking about it until it's too late, until something happened that we're not able to go back and change it, or until we get to the twilight of our years and we look back at, man, I could have said this differently, or I could have said that differently, I could have done this differently. And it's better to not live with regret. Even though there's always going to be regret, you're always going to regret something.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's impossible to live your life without regretting something, and you can always look back and say, well, those mistakes is what made me now. But when it comes to this situation, the things, the legacy that you leave, I look at my dad and all I have is good memories, and because he was a fun person to be around. He was jovial, always joking, always had a good demeanor. Like I don't think when you went there and you would have that time with your grandfather, I don't think there's ever a negative moment. It was always
good,
because I think he always treated life from that point of view. He was always a person that never looked at the glass half empty, always looked at the glass half full. So anyways, this song hit me hard because of that. And then in the setting that it is, with him in the coffin, having that kind of like retrospective, oh shit, now I'm here, and what could I have done differently? Mm-hmm. And for me, it hit me a little bit. It hit me harder than listening to the song outside of the context of the video. The video helps create a much different context that really sets the song in a different place, at least for me. What do you think?
It's a sad song, but
beautiful though.
It's a beautiful song. I don't know how I feel about the 80s synths, being as it is a very sad song, and the 80s synths are kind of like contradicting that a little bit.
I mean, if you look from a church point of view, I mean, you do have some...
It doesn't sound like an organ.
No, it doesn't sound like an organ, but I don't think it's meant to sound like an organ.
But it's still good. Dude, I mean, listening to this song, I think what was hitting me was, damn, like, these guys got robbed at Eurovision.
Oh, here we go.
No, what do you mean, here we go?
I think everybody wants to put their episode behind us.
No, these guys deserved better. These guys deserved better.
I put my money where my mouth is, and I use my dollars to vote.
Exactly, because these guys deserved better. They make amazing music, and that song "Blood and Glitter" was peak. But this song, it just kind of confirms that. I mean, it confirms what we already knew about this band, and that they make amazing music, heartfelt music, and stuff that really just tugs at you. Even if you're not a metalhead, and even if you're just like someone listening to this,
Their music has no genre, in my opinion. I mean, it fits everything.
It fits everything. This, like, especially something like this, I think anyone who listens to this song will find some way to connect to it.
And no disrespect to Iron Maiden, they're a massive band. These guys tour with Iron Maiden, they open for Iron Maiden. For me, going from listening to this, a song that really connects with me at an emotional level, to listen to Run to the Hills, it's quite a departure.
I want to listen to this and then Ghost. I think these guys and Ghost would probably somewhat make some sense.
That would be a great fucking line.
Especially this song. I feel like this song...
At this point, we just need Lord of the Lost to do a North American tour.
A big one for them.
Fuck, forget about all the rest. Just these guys need to come to this side of the Atlantic. They're incredible musicians. Chris has an incredible vision.
Voice.
You know, an incredible voice. I think when he was in that coffin and everybody's surrounding him, everybody's thinking like, fuck, if he dies, what are we gonna do? I think that's what they were thinking. You know, like maybe that career with OnlyFans, we have to get that going. But, you know, so I think they were all like...
the Lord of the Fans.
they were all thinking about what's going to happen if we lose our guide, our spiritual guide in this journey of life. He's an incredible person, an incredible musician. The guys in the band are incredible people, but they just make music that, for me, I just always really connect deeply with the stuff there they talk about. Like, either be the album Judas with the whole concept of the record, which I really connected with, or Blood and Glitter. That had great songs like No Respect for Disrespect was another great fucking song. I mean, the album didn't have any bad songs. They're always able to take even negatives and turn it into positives and
Even
create
You're Not
these,
My Enemy.
Yeah, and create these messages that through their music you're able to rethink how you view those issues and how you approach those issues. Like what he's talking about here, a lot of people that listen to his music never once thought about this, because they're young, they have their whole life ahead of them. And it's not about you having your whole life ahead of you, it's about the other people around you might not have their whole lives ahead of you. But you don't start thinking about that until it impacts you. It's a very selfish nature of being human. We normally think about us first before we think about others. And sometimes when we start to think about others is because the us is threatened, or we're the ones putting ourselves in a situation. Like I said, like getting older and not having people around you, and then thinking, what could I have done differently if I could have the chance to do that one last song? Like I said, Julio Iglesias for my dad. So, yeah, what can I say? Either that or some Kimba Rage. You love that Pimba stuff.
Yeah, I mean...
Música Pimba. It's a Portuguese thing. It's Portuguese folk music. And it's all like sexual innuendos. The whole thing.
He was a ladies' man.
Like I said, he loved the ladies. Yeah, I mean, I love this. This is great. But it hit me hard.
It tugs at the heartstrings.
It hit me hard. Especially that line there about his parents. That hit me hard. Because that's where I can relate. Having lost my father, I can relate to that part there more than anything else. Once again, as you get older and you start losing some more people around you, I can relate to that. You know, like the other day I was thinking about an uncle of mine that was a huge role model of mine growing up. He's passed away now. He passed away a couple of years ago after my dad passed away. And his last years of his life, they were not the greatest in terms of his relationship with my family and his relationship with my parents and even his relationship with me. But I decided to like kind of put that all aside and just remember about the younger times when I was a kid and he was there and he was such a big role model and because we all do shitty things through life. Nobody's perfect. So for me to gripe on the last couple of years of his life where he wasn't as good of a person as I thought he was, why? Like why?
Just
like there's no good that can come from that.
Just
remember the good times, the good moments that he shared, and understand that we're all human and we all do shitty things in our life. But that doesn't mean that we should always hold that against the person, especially after they passed away.
Exactly.
So I have the good moments that I can still picture him in my mind, and I have those good moments, and those are the memories I'll keep with me. That's my take on this whole thing. Life is too short. All right. Anything else you want to add?
No, I think we've hit everything.
All right. So let's hope for some more new Lord of the Lost next year. 2024 will be a good year, I'm assuming. I mean, I think they're due, right?
Yeah.
Well, yes and no, because Blood and Glitter came out last year at Christmas. So it's not even a year. The album hasn't even been out for a year.
It's fine, man.
Wasn't it last year? I think it was last year.
It was last year.
At Christmas. So it hasn't even been a year. So expecting a new record next year, I think now we're pushing it a little bit too much. But it just feels like this Blood and Glitter album has been out for like 3 years. So anyhow, we'll see you all at the next video.
See ya.